Howdy, y'all.
Howdy, what's going on, y'all?
It would be remiss of us to act like Beyonce didn't just drop an album,
This
right?
ain't this.
So I think that's what we need to start with. What are your thoughts?
Ooh, I don't want to. Ooh, I hate that. I'm put on the spot. Okay, it's a country album, and I love Beyonce. I will say that this album, I have to listen to it a few times. There are a few songs that I enjoy, but it's not hitting. I'm gonna be honest. It's not hitting for me as Renaissance hit for me. And I think it's because it's country music. I really think ultimately that's what it is. Maybe I'm not into country music. I thought I was. I lied. And then when I got this, I was like,
Well, no, you
okay.
didn't lie. You never like you liked the singles. You thought the
I
singles ate.
did.
You liked the visuals. You never said that it's like, oh, okay. Like you
I
trust
said it to
Beyonce.
myself. I was like, oh, this is gonna really make me like I'm gonna love country. I'm gonna go to the fucking roller derbies. I'm gonna do the chili cook off now. Like I really thought I was gonna do all of
You
that.
know.
And I'm specifically doing it Broward, y'all. But no, this did not. And you know what? Someone said it on TikTok. They section the album, like the beginning of the album, I want to say is acoustic country. And then you get into it's like that deeper country, and then you get into like Beyonce. And that's the portion of the album that I like. When she goes and she like booking. I'm like, I love that. I love that, you know?
That's okay.
And I like Jolene. I do like Jolene. And of course that song with Miley Cyrus. I love Miley Cyrus. Um Post Malone surprised me.
I did not know that boy could sing like
Yeah.
that.
Post Malone really surprised me. I was like, okay. And I when I seen him on it, I was like, but I was like, okay, I like this.
Okay.
What did you feel about it?
Loved it first listen. It's not better than Renaissance for me,
Mm-hmm.
but it's almost as good as it. Almost as good, not as good.
Okay.
It didn't turn me into a country fan per se, but it's more like blues, bluegrass, like deep rooted soul, like, Prince, experimental genre bending. It's also for people who are very into dissecting albums,
Yeah.
meanings, things like history, things like that, education, all of that. It's something that should be studied, and I love that, and I love that this is what she gave to us, and that we're taking this back. And I really do love the album, like Down. It's not better than the first Renaissance only because I like the upbeatness of the first Renaissance, and this one is more like, you get all sides of her, but it's like for people who like vocal performances, she's never sounded better. Like you're getting
Yes.
opera. You're
I
getting
agree.
opera, R&B, blues, country, bluegrass, like, and then in technicality, all the interpolations, references, like it's just so much in one album that it literally takes you time to digest. It's not something
Mm-hmm.
that you can just like pick up on. Even just like what she says and what's happening in the album is still, it's been days and you're still just now realizing, oh, this is what she meant.
This is what she meant. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
So I really love that. I think we should do a quick top five, if you
Ooh,
will.
okay. Okay,
I
okay.
definitely know for sure the new Jolene, absolutely. And
Mm-hmm.
then, Yaya, River Dance, Hands to Heaven. And then I'm trying to figure out between Tyrant and Alligator Tears. I don't know, between those types of like, yeah.
Okay. Okay. For me, I'm going to say I'm gonna say Texas Hold'em. Like I know people are gonna be like, "What the hell?" Like, but yeah, Texas Hold'em. It still has me. Jolene, Spaghetti,
Hmm.
uh, Riverdance.
Something about Riverdance just makes
Riverdance
me
makes me want to
want
like,
to go to the same exact rodeo
yeah,
in the Hannah Montana movie.
and like
E-
just start shaking ass as hard as hell, like Natalie Nunn shaking ass.
Exactly. Like
Yeah,
break my spine shaking ass.
and Sweet Honey bucking
I
like
just
that
wanna shake my ass.
booking. Booking. And then I do like Tyrant is growing on me. I will
Tyrant
say that.
is like so sexy, bodyguard,
Hmm.
sexy, like ooh. And it's just that not that I don't like the other deeper songs, obviously, like Protector, My Rose, Daughter, like those are cool and all, but it's just something that, I'll listen to, but I won't put on repeat because I like Beyonce that makes me want to like, move.
Dance.
Hmm.
Yeah, I feel like the other songs are more like, if I can give an example from the Renaissance album, the plastic off the sofa.
Right. That's Kendrick's.
Yeah. And
And
I
that's
love
not
that
necessarily
song.
my, yeah,
But
it's not necessarily something that I have on repeat.
yeah, but it's like every now and then when I hear it,
Right.
if I'm like on good terms, if I'm in a
In the
if I'm
mood.
dating, yeah, in the mood, then I'm like, yeah, this is my song, turn it up. But mm, aside from
So
that,
so freaking good. And I fine. Yeah, like I can't give how many times can I give Beyonce
I
the
knew this
Black
was gonna
Excellence
lead
Award?
to the Black Excellence Award.
But it's like these are things that have never been done before. And you have to
Hmm.
understand that when you come from our generation, older generations had Michael Jackson.
Right.
We have Beyonce. And also, you can tell who she was like inspired by, like Prince, Michael Jackson, and she honestly pays homage to them all the time. Like it will be inauthentic. So she can be like one of them. Um, Another I would say Natalie Nunn, just because the just because I've been rewatching Baddies and it
Hmm.
may be the downfall of our society, but my God, does it make me feel better? It just makes me feel better. It's just like sometimes life is about going out, making money,
And shaking your
shaking
ass.
ass, and beating bitches up.
That's just what it is.
Like, I think that we should stop fucking lollygagging and hoot nannying
And
and
painting our fucking toenails all the
painting our
time.
toenails and
Hmm.
trying to just be these polished, reformed, straight back, like corporate, like,
Because we have people for that.
yeah.
We have people for that. And that's okay. Like, I want to make that clear. That's okay. But why can't we appreciate some ass shaking?
Why
Like,
can't we watch C-SPAN and Zeus?
questions.
I think it says more about your character for judging me
Yeah.
than my
I'm
character for
glad that you got
enjoying.
into this because I can definitely watch like Al Sharpton,
Right.
Michael Bazin,
Mm-hmm.
Even though Michael Bazin be a little horny sometimes,
Don't we all?
because you be asking, but
I think we get, yeah, I think.
and then I can also watch Zeus. You know what I'm saying? I can have an appreciation for both. It's
to
like,
pretend that it doesn't exist
mhm,
is like it's not, especially the rate at which it's going and how popular it is and where she
yeah.
came from. And obviously I know right from wrong. So it's not mushing my mind to make me, there's no agenda with me because I already know who I am as a person. Simple.
I feel like that's some real talk. In the words of Toya, like that is, she will give you some real talk. Like that's just what I feel. And that's why I think you guys appreciate this podcast because it's like
Right.
it's a mix of both. Like, yeah, sometimes we do get on here and it's like you get CNN, Aaron and Kaya, like,
Mm-hmm.
but then sometimes you might get Zeus Network us. And sometimes it's
Exactly.
like we're a little tired, so you might get doses of Drea from us. I think so. You're gonna get a blend of things, you know.
Right. Right. It's just like I can understand the argument of this is so ignorant. Why is this on TV? This is I understand that, but I'm an adult. I know who I am. I have space for both. Just like if you don't have I don't judge people who don't have space for both, right? I don't
Mhm.
judge people who are like, this is the downfall. Like if you feel that way, I understand why, because I'm cognizant of what I'm watching. I know that what I'm watching, this is not acceptable behavior and
It's
I shouldn't
very
act like this.
damaging.
But they're there to do a job and they're doing the job very well.
They are. And it's like that doesn't mean that I have to take those mannerisms and just start like ripping juices out of the refrigerator, open top, and just gulping them down with them running down my shirt. Like I don't have to do that just because I watch baddies. I don't have to drop kick somebody on the floor or like jump up in the air and kick somebody in the back. I don't have
it's
to
not
do
it's not spreading like a virus. I'm not raising like my nieces and nephews to act like this. I'm not pushing agenda on
like
younger
you're outside
kids.
with the nieces and nephews and you're like, hit that
Fight.
bitch. Hit that
Yeah.
bitch.
Throw the drink.
Beat
Like,
her
no,
ass.
I'm not doing any of that. I'm just enjoying something, mind numbing
Yeah.
TV, and that's it. So, yeah, Beyonce and Natalie Nunn, what two opposite sides
Oh
of
my
the spectrum?
gosh.
Who
I
are
love
your
that. Ooh.
excellence?
Oh, this is gonna be hard, y'all. But you know what? Honestly, I'm going to give it to, and we just had Preston on from Martha's Vineyard, but I'm gonna give mine to the Summer House Martha's Vineyard cast. I'm
Wasn't
gonna
that a
give it
good
to them.
episode?
It was a great episode. They had a great premiere and they had a great second episode. So much so that I watched it the same night. Like, and that's not me. I'll say that. Most of the time I end up watching shows the day after. Like Potomac, huh, but Martha's Vineyard, absolutely. I was like, tonight.
Not just that, I kind of like the second episode better than the premiere.
I did too. Because I mean, so much more happened. I'm liking the cast more.
Noelle, obsessed. Like, she is
Yes.
just so fun. A girl's
I love
girl.
her morals. She's a girl's girl. I'm all about that.
Southern lady, but also down to have fun.
Yeah.
Wants to know what's the tea before she makes a move on the guy. It was such a good episode. We'll get into that
And we'll get
obviously on the
into
Bravo.
it. Yeah. You know, some people Shanice, but we'll get into that. So, child. I just
Shanice
feel
just
like how
wants to
many
have a
times you
good
gonna show
time.
your titties?
I feel like that's her thing.
No
Like,
wonder Amira's girlfriend is acting like that though. But you knew what you signed up for too. You knew what you signed up for too. But that's a whole thing, you know. But you guys are doing great. You guys are doing amazing. And we'll get into it.
it was such a good episode. I can't
My
wait to talk about that.
second one is
Mm-hmm.
gonna go to Lisa Vanderpump.
Oh, can we just say
Running that goddamn cabaret.
Lisa's Cabaret. Please, someone edit,
Yeah,
put it right here.
because it's
Lisa's
so much more than a villa.
Cabaret.
It's so much more than a villa.
Photoshop Lisa over Jocelyn and put Lisa's Cabaret with the cast right there, because it was just, let's just get into it. Vanderpump Villa. This is not a Bravo show, you guys. It's a Hulu show. Shout out to Hulu. I just want to show you guys that they sent us a couple of big ass PR boxes. Amazing. Oh. Mine is on blur right now. Can I change that?
Yeah, you can change it. Oh,
Okay.
child, the stuff that,
We've been talking about ourselves. By the way, we're gonna talk about BMF, so that's why it was on blur. Okay. Look at this PR box, you guys.
Oh my gosh!
Like, look at it. And
is that a trench coat
right there? It's not a trench coat, but I will tell you, it came with a personalized message from Lisa Vanderpump herself.
Whoa!
Also, it's not a trench coat. However, it's our second favorite thing after a trench coat, which is a robe.
Oh, I love a robe. Oh my gosh.
A robe.
Oh.
Okay.
Say no more.
Live unboxing. Oh. It also had some French macarons, like the literal macarons that were on the show. We got some, I'm showing you the empty thing because I ate them. Some French macarons. Also, some parfum.
Some perfume.
Yes, like it's a good PR, top tier PR.
And what does the perfume smell like? What are the notes? Is that the word?
Notes of I don't know.
Or is that wine?
It's a room spray. It smells like roses, kind of.
I imagine that's how Lisa Vanderpump smells.
Yep. And then this is like for around the house. Literally a softening hand wash, velvet hand lotion, and a rinse-free hand wash. Literally. Two things left. And then it's like basically going to the resort or the what does she call it?
The villa.
Yeah, the villa. This is a sleeping mask. So
I like those too.
A nice, soft, luxurious sleeping mask, you guys.
Wow.
And that's why I'm wearing the Vanderpump purple, because I'm like, let's do this fucking unboxing.
This is beautiful.
The last thing that it came with is just like these faux flowers. It's so cute. The best PR box that we've gotten this year after the alcohol. Shout out to Joe McHale, because that vodka comes in handy. But a robe, love a robe. So let's get into the actual Vanderpump villa.
That was a good PR box. Like, see, take note. If y'all are making boxes, I love free stuff, but take note, because that's how you put one together. If you throw in a Lunchables, I'll just say that, and I'll leave it at that. So let's get into this episode, y'all.
Yes.
We start off being introduced to some of the cast members. I'd say one of the first two cast members that really caught my eye, because we really had no choice but to get into them, were Marciano and Hannah. Now, we find out that they are a couple. They used to be together, but then he cheated on her with the whole world. So then she left him. And she was like, I can't be together. I can't be with him anymore. But I kind of still have feelings for him, and I like to kiss him every now and then. And I think that's my man, but it's not really my man. And then he's like, I kind of like her, even though I cheated on her a million times. And he's like, I'll do it again real quick. But I still like her a little bit, and I'm not sure what we are and what we're going to do. I'm
going to play with her as long as she allows me to.
Exactly. And that's what a man will do, too.
Yeah.
As long as people will treat you how you allow them to treat you. And that's what she needs to understand. But, clearly she still doesn't grasp that concept, as we can see. So we're in and when they introduced them, I did feel like it was kind of forced at first, just how they made it seem like they're just throwing them
What
in
do you
our
mean?
face. Like, as far as they're like, oh yeah, and by the way, we used to be together, but we're not together anymore. But we're gonna
Oh,
work.
you think that they
Yeah.
were trying to make the show more interesting to show you that there's already like a messy
Yes.
relationship in it?
It was very much like they were like, okay, you guys enjoy Vanderpump Rules. Well, here's our new couple.
Here's the
And
new Jackson Stassi.
not even Jackson Stassi. They kind of give me, it's
Ooh.
like Jax, if Jax and Lala can't got together, that's what they
Yeah,
could.
because Hannah's a little bit more
Hmm.
she's ready to get it popping more
She's
than.
ready to get it popping a little bit more than, we don't even have to say her name. But that's what it reminds me of. I'm like, if Jackson and Lala got together in an alternate universe, I feel like it would be this couple right here.
Yeah,
Um,
and also if Jax was less good looking because Marciano acts like he is a 10 and he's like a 7.
you think so? I will give him, he is good looking, but it's just his personality that makes him less good looking.
I think that he's handsome, but he is not Jax level handsome. Like I will drag Jackson to the ground. But one thing about it, even to this day, that man is
Mm.
fine. Fine.
You know what it
Fine.
was too? It was the haircut. It was
Mm,
like that one piece of hair in the front
but just
that fell, that just hung down. I'm like, damn.
perfectly. And then it was also the washboard abs, it's the bone
Hmm.
structure, the three nose, like, yeah,
And then
he's
that guy
acting
who
like
was
he
like, me and Jox
was
used to have a really good time together
in
back in the
Miami.
day in
And then Jackson's
Miami.
like, yeah, I live with him, but
I live with him, but
nothing happened.
nothing happened. I just,
I don't know why everyone is saying what. I was
well,
modeling. I was young. I was in my 20s.
I'm not a bottom.
You said it, not me.
That's all I got from that. But it's not about Jax. Like, shout out to Jax.
No, not shout out. They can go to
Shout
hell.
out to you. Well,
Shout out to Marciano.
Well, no, he can go to hell too. Because after this
You
episode,
you don't think that
absolutely.
he like got it popping though, like in a way,
I do think that he got it
or are you more
popping,
annoyed with him?
but I'm annoyed with him because of how he came at Telly. I'm
Oh,
annoyed with that whole situation. Like, had he
you'll
come
get
on
to it.
strong with another man, I think I would have been fine with that. But
You'll
Telly
get
was
to it.
not giving him that energy at all.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
then we're introduced to Telly. She's a mixologist, but she's also running shit. Like, she is, in my opinion, she's in charge. She's running the bar service. She's the
Mm-hmm.
girl that you go to. And I like Telly immediately from the beginning because she's a girl who can have a good time and who can handle her liquor. And she reminds me a lot like me. Like, I can have a
Mm-hmm.
whole bottle of Hennessy and still function
You can. You can.
and get up like it's like what? It's nothing.
And that's
Even
a
even
very
if I'm dying
important.
inside, I could still like
Yeah.
pretend that I'm not.
You can rally.
Yeah,
That's a very
exactly.
important like personality trait to have, especially as a bartender slash mixologist.
Hmm.
I also like how she stands up for herself and how she was vulnerable with Lisa Vanderpump. But the first thing that made me loyal to her is because she's from Fort Lauderdale. So automatically I was like, oh,
Yeah, yeah,
like she probably lives down the street from us.
I could say that too. But yeah, this cast was really good. Then we have Priscilla. How did you feel about Priscilla?
She's cute, a little around the
Yeah,
house.
she be opening her lid sometimes.
Oh, you were on Hannah's side with that?
No, I wasn't. Not at all. I just said she just be opening her lid sometimes. Like we all do. Some more so than others, but we just do.
Go ahead.
Because I want to say, I didn't mean for it to sound like that. Damn, that came out kind of messed up. But I was just saying because I don't think she really. had any intent behind that. I want to make that clear. Some people just like, I don't
I like
know.
it. I like. Are you? Oh, wait. Who's next? Because I was gonna say Gabriella.
Oh yeah, no, you can talk about Gabriella.
I like Gabriella also, the other black girl, because one, she's like model-esque gorgeous. It's just like looking
Hmm.
at her, it's like, oh my God. But also I like her because she seems very honest. Like they had a situation in which Hannah basically gets mad because Priscilla was sitting with her legs kind of like opened to Marciano, and Gabriella does a confessional, and she's like, Priscilla's like this because she's confident, and Hannah's like that because she's insecure. And she didn't say it in a shady way. It was very matter of fact observation.
It's
It's
what
the
we've
truth.
seen. It's what we've seen. And the thing that I don't like about Hannah is it's like, okay, you don't even know what you guys are. But you're so quick to just be in his ass for whatever reason.
Also, I didn't like that she was going for the girl instead of for the guy. Like
Yeah.
she was sitting that way, but also he's single. So what are we talking about?
But what can I expect? Like this man cheated on you a million and a billion times from what we got. Like with he said pretty much the whole bar that he was at, the whole
Right.
world. He's cheating on you with everybody on this planet. And he's been fucked out, as Meredith would say. And she's
Yes.
still in his face like, that's my man. I'm gonna love him regardless.
It's just very weird. We also have Andre.
Yes, yes, I do like Andre.
He's like the only black male that we get introduced to, and he comes from a hard background. I believe he said Chicago is where he's from,
Mhm.
and his parents are well. His mom passed away a few years ago, and his father was not in his life. So I like that he spoke about that, and also the fact that he kind of like technically shouldn't be there because he just comes from such a hard background, and the way that he's saying, I'm literally a black man alone in France. This is a strange place for me to be. And that's what I'm liking about the show, is that we're
Mhm.
having hard, not even hard, but conversations that we wouldn't necessarily usually have on a show. And I think that Lisa took some of the feedback and applied it to this show, which is why I think you gave her uh black excellence
Oh
of
yeah,
the
absolutely.
black excellence of the week, because okay, so let's get into the situation with Telly and Marciano. Basically, they had been drinking, around the bar, and it was time for the guests, to come, and there was a guest that was about to propose to his fiance, and Marciano basically needed, he's a server, head server, and he needed a drink. But I believe that Andre and Telly were on break, so he kind of basically got really upset about it. And I would say that Telly should not have pushed him technically, but I also feel like Marciano is like bucking up in her fucking face. So I probably would have reacted worse
Mhm.
than just a
That's what I'm
push.
saying. So I don't
I would
know.
have started windmilling,
I'm the wrong
personally.
person.
Yeah. So I can say that was really a weird situation, and I hated it because I hate when men get in women's face, like, especially during like it's a work shift. Whatever you got to do, just fucking do it, and then tell her, hey, that was unacceptable later on. And he was making it seem
Right.
like she wasn't doing shit. They were playing around all day, and that he didn't have his own two hands. I could understand that it's annoying and he needed the drink or whatever, but the way that he responded and the way that she responded, it was like that was like a cause and effect type thing that really got heated. I did not like that situation at all.
I hated it. And the thing with him is he has a habit of telling somebody that they're not doing their job or they're bad at their job. When, sir, as soon as you got into this shit, like you couldn't even hold your wine glasses up. They fell on the
Drunk
ground.
as
Drunk as a skunk.
hell.
Drunk as a skunk. And Telly's looking at him like, I'm holding mine like Lady Liberty. Like, I'm not
Exactly.
that drunk.
Exactly.
And that would literally be me too.
Get it together.
Standing still as fuck. Like, I am not drunk. I'm fully capable
If
of doing
anything,
anything.
if anything, I'm standing straighter than you are.
Right.
I stand
Even
better
though
when
I
I'm
was like
drunk
leaning to the
because I'm
side.
hyper aware because I'm
Is
drunk and I know I'm drunk. So I'm
mm-hmm.
doing, yeah,
I feel like nothing is more sober than when you're drunk. Like, and I know that makes no sense,
it
but
makes
when you're
complete
drunk
sense.
and you know that you're not drunk,
It makes complete sense because I'm going to be like, hey, I'm not drunk.
I
Do you
don't know
see how
what
still
you
I'm
heard.
standing?
I don't know if Lindsay got in your head, but I do not have any problems, okay?
Matter of fact, are you drunk?
I think so. I want to ask you too, do you want do you feel like this problem could have been de-escalated by Eric?
Yes, because Eric is the manager. What are you doing?
Mm,
He's the most unserious person on the
hmm
entire show. And it's funny, but it's also like, do your fucking job. And I actually, there's also Steven, who is a queer man who actually applied for the job of manager and did not get it, but he is events coordinator. There's also a chef. Do you know the chef's name? Because there's some secondary characters that don't get as much
Caroline.
care. Caroline. Okay, yes, because she had the
She had the croissant in
Marciano
the.
also tried to like
That was another situation that really
annoying.
pissed me off with Marciano. It's like he's too aggressive, and I don't like how he interacts with other people. Like, there's a difference between having a problem, and it's the same thing with Eric. You can manage and do your job while still being respectful and stern. If you want something done, just say you want something done. But to go in that oven, because that lady burnt, you shouldn't, Caroline, you should have burnt that damn croissant. Because and I know it was busy in that kitchen, but you should have took that shit out. But they burnt it. Then he takes the croissant and he's like, oh, I can't even believe it. Like, you burnt it. And she's
And then
like,
he
well, did you
leaves the
take it out
oven
of the
on.
oven? And he's like, no, it's still in there. Like, so what are you doing? And then somehow it gets out of the oven, and then he decides to put it on Caroline's bed. And I'm like, I would have to touch him.
He's disrespectful
It's
and a
disrespectful.
child. And that's why the girl gonna pop off on him in the preview later this season. She's gonna be like,
Mhm.
yo, what the fuck are you doing? You're embarrassing. Like, be for real.
He is.
It's so crazy. It's good, you guys. But okay, so the whole point that I was trying to make was that we had that conversation about Andre very early on, that where he's from and how he lost his mom and all those things. And then we also have a conversation between Lisa, because it gets, everything gets back to Lisa. One, she's watching them on the cameras, and two, obviously Eric has to tell Lisa like what's going on. So Lisa has a conversation with the whole crew about like basically like the first night, evaluates them, see who did good and did bad, and she, kind of scolds some people in the group, but then she pulls Telly aside because she could just tell that there was more to it. She had a conversation with Telly, and Telly was just very raw and authentic about. She's asking her basically, like, why did you lie to me about, drinking, everyone drinking, but also what's really wrong, what's wrong at the core, like why did you kind of react that way, even though she had a reason to react that way. And Lisa actually acknowledged that. She was also saying that she wanted people to like her, and also where she comes from, she has to kind of protect herself. So I think that having these on-camera conversations about being a woman approached by a man, about race, and about all these different about different backgrounds, and celebrating our differences instead of acting like they don't exist, I think that it's an improvement to what I would like to see in reality TV. The resolution to the problem is that Telly and Marciano actually apologized to each other. Marciano, and that's why I'm just kind of like, okay, he gets it popping. And it
Mm-hmm.
seems like even maybe if he was told to apologize or told to say whatever the situation may be, he actually acknowledged, like, I get why you reacted like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a man and I kind of shouldn't have been on you and violated your personal space like that. And he apologized, and then she also apologized for pushing him, even though, yeah, I wouldn't have. It's not about me, but she apologized, and we got some real conflict resolution instead of just saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. We actually got down to the root of the problem. And I like having
Right.
those conversations on camera.
I agree. I definitely agree. It did feel forced. I'm not gonna lie, and I don't think he's
Yeah.
sorry because he literally did the same shit with the other girl. But
Yeah.
somebody needs to put him in his place, and I think that Eric they need to take that position away from him, and him, and what's his name, the one who was originally supposed to get it.
Oh,
Or
Stephen.
he applied for it too. I
Stephen.
think Steven needs to take that job, and they just need to switch jobs because
So tell the people about the situation with the event with Eric, Gabriella, and Steven, like how they ended up in that kerfluffle.
yeah. So the whole thing was that day they were making plans. Lisa had everything planned out. Eric was already kind of being an asshole with everybody, and I felt like he was talking mad crazy to everybody. But once it got to the point where they were actually organizing and putting things together, he decided to move the events around and move the tables around. And Lisa's like, "What are you doing? Because I already had this plan. Like, this
And
doesn't
there's
make any
another
sense."
event,
Not only not one but two events. So
right?
all three of the events that they had planned were literally going to be side by side in the same place. And she's like,
Mm-hmm.
"No, I moved that over there because I wanted to separate the events so people can feel like they're in different areas." She did not
This
want
shit
the
is in different
areas,
areas.
right? But now when you have the tables next to each other, it's like, is this really a different event?
And it makes it more stressful for when you have to set up for it, which Stephen, that's the
Yeah,
point Stephen was trying to make because he is the events coordinator. So Eric was making calls that he should not have made without, yeah,
at
like, yes,
all.
you're the manager, but there's someone already designated to,
He was feeling himself a little bit too much. And
right.
Lisa pulled him to the side and she was like, "What the hell are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is not your job. This isn't what you like. This is what I have you here for. Your job is to just manage and make sure everything that I planned goes
Mm-hmm.
smoothly. You're not in charge of changing everything." And I'm glad she got his ass together because he was on a power trip. And then the thing is, he came back and he got upset because now
At
his
Stephen.
ass felt like he needed to have control of the situation. And I noticed that about certain people that don't have any control in their own life, they like to run shit in other areas. Like when it comes to a job or when it comes to like a manager position,
Yeah.
it just gets them off for some reason. And I think he's one of those people. He doesn't have any control in his own life. So he feels the need to do that. And you're really upset because you didn't do your job the right way. So now you're going back to Steven and you're still antagonizing him and making him feel like he's not doing enough when he's doing what he's supposed to do. And had you not switched the tables around and did what you wanted to do, things would have probably been done because your ass would have been on the floor instead of talking to Lisa.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, all in all, that's ridiculous. And all in all, I hope he gets demoted from his position. Um, However, the difference between Marciano and Eric, I do feel like Eric is going to have an awakening. I do feel like something's going to happen and he's going to be like, okay, maybe I shouldn't act like this. But Marciano, I feel like it's a lost cause.
You think he's incapable of change?
Yeah. I don't think he's capable of it
He's really a Jax.
because you're literally getting, after this lady told you, you're still getting drunk. Like, you're still getting drunk. You're still trying
He
to tell
got
these people.
drunker after he got like, did
Yeah.
you
I'm
see
like,
like the stream of vodka or whatever it was just gurgling
and I'm like,
like
that would be me too, but at
out the
least
bottle?
behind closed doors. Like,
At
at
least
least,
like
At
He had
least
it
bust in the
above
room
his
and
head.
catch me. Like,
Right. At least drink out of a straw. Like this
mm-hmm.
was the serving nozzle.
And everybody's like, damn, he's lit.
Like maybe he shouldn't be here. He should be at rehab. Like what the fuck is going on?
At home.
Yeah,
So,
it was so good. And another good conversation they had on camera was Stephen, because okay, there was a trans woman there celebrating the feminization of her face. So it's kind of, you know what, and I will shout out to Above Deck. We love Above Deck. Shout out to them. Listen to our episode with them. We will have them on to talk about, because they watch a lot of things. But it does remind me of Below Deck, but at a
yes.
chateau. And I guess that I'm just more of a chateau girl, more so than a yacht girl. Because if you think about it, they're staying in close quarters together. One is like a maid, a chef, a server, a
But the
bartender.
villa is so big, you
But the
don't feel
villa,
like you're in the same room all
exactly,
day.
that's the difference.
Yeah.
And that's why I was going to ask you, like, how can you like this show and Below Deck, we still haven't gotten that, oh, I'm going to watch this feeling from Below Deck yet.
Yeah. I mean, I did get that from the newest season that was out because I got invested in the people.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, but
yeah.
have you been watching it? That's the
No, I
question.
haven't. I haven't.
Okay. The difference
Yeah.
is that we're actually looking forward to
Yeah.
the next couple of episodes of this show. It comes out every Monday. You guys, the first 3 episodes are out. I live threaded the first 3 episodes. Maybe Aaron will hop on next Monday. I think that we should do like a Monday watch party. So you guys get on Threads at Bravo Wild Black. Every time there's a new episode, we will be live threading it Monday at 8 p.m. because we don't have anything to watch on Mondays, or even if it's Tuesday at 9 p.m. because we don't have anything to watch at 9 p.m. We have Vanderpump Rules, but we don't watch the other show. So yeah, we will be keeping up with this show. It's really good. It's a fun time. You don't go into it expecting to have as much fun. It really makes you like Lisa, because she is actually a motherly figure again. She is not just showing favoritism towards the men. She's actually being a mentor for the women too. There's drama between the people that work there. There's, fun between the people who are celebrating there. And it's also a beautiful, I think the biggest thing, because my mom even watched it, the biggest thing is that we really love like hospitality related things. Like we like hotels, we like the background settings, we like events, like we're really into that. So it's a really good show, you guys.
I agree, y'all. I definitely think it's a good watch. Literally after the 3rd episode, I was like wanting to see the 4th. So,
Right. I'm like, just drop it.
And it's already 3 out. And I love when they do that, when they drop and they give you something. Because I believe every show should do that. Unless it's an absolute shit show or it's only like 3 episodes. Like it's like a short series. Then it's like, no, you can't give it all away. But, you know.
Yeah. What a way to say it. Okay, but we talked about it for way too long. I did not even think that we were going to get into it that much, but we did, and we hope that you guys watch it and like it. And tell us your thoughts. Who's your fave so far? My faves are definitely Telly and Andre. Who's your favorite?
I would say right now, Telly, Andre, and Caroline. Because I appreciate the background. Oh, and Lisa Vanderpump, like, clearly.
Mm-hmm. You acknowledge
like,
that.
Lisa Vanderpump is the number one,
The baddest. Okay, it's really her cabaret. I thought she was going to perform, actually. There is no Abbott Elementary for last week or this week. It'll be back next week, so obviously we'll be covering it next week.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing we can talk about, just quickly touch on Jersey Shore. Again, Ron is not there yet.
And you would think You would think.
They really know how to stretch some shit out. They know how to make $1 out of 16 cents.
I'm like, God damn, he's not back yet.
And then
Like,
what was it? Angelina came, and that was literally it.
I'm convinced that it's literally one episode. Like, this show is literally every season is one episode. And they are
One
just
long
stretching
episode.
every hour out. They're like, don't stop recording. Because it's about to get done. Like, after I use the bathroom, it's about to get really good. So don't
Because
stop.
they're always like on the next episode, and then it's just a whole bunch of drama, and you're like, none of this has happened. Like none of this has
It's nothing
happened
is
yet.
happening. It's like, let's go to Denny's real quick. And it was
Let's
like,
go and check out these stores and
I have
not
to
pick a
stop by
store.
PetSmart and get a new beta fish. Like, very specific, random things.
And like, well, I mean, I will say that they definitely put me more in like the Renaissance Part Two mood, the Cowboy Carter mood, because they had on
Mhm.
their jean jackets, they had on their cowboy boots, and they were ready to go. And the whole episode is just Snooki and Dina getting drunk.
Yeah, take it. Like, not even leave it. Take it.
Take it. You don't have an option because I did.
That's the episode, guys.
All right, so next on the agenda.
I love that. X-Men 97, y'all. Listen,
Get into it. Like, did you
get
hold on?
into it.
Hold on, because as someone who is not an expert on these things, who did not watch the 1st, I'm in the middle of watching the original series. You know, I have limited knowledge. I will say that this was a good ass episode.
A really good episode.
And now
Like,
you can take it away.
I wanna hold on. Let me
Well, in the meantime, you guys, in the first and second episode, you basically, get to know the X-Men. Charles Xavier is dead in the series, but Magneto is definitely a part of it. You can hear our first part of the conversation on last week's episode. There was 2 episodes out. Now this is the 3rd one. We left off at a cliffhanger where Jean Grey comes in the house where Jean Grey already is.
Oh, I'm glad you told. Okay, so you got the scenery set up. I'm gonna scope the scenery real quick. Now I'm gonna tell you guys what happened. So pretty much they go in the room, and then Beast messy ass. He's like, this motherfucker ain't the real Jean Grey. This one is.
I need to be myself.
Like that shit was crazy as hell. I was like, damn, like he just got straight to the point. Like, I don't know what y'all gonna do, but this is not Jean Grey. And Madeline, it's really Madeline Pryor. That's what you find out. And she's like, but I don't understand. Like this whole time I've been fighting with you. Like she's thinking back, she's showing them pictures like of her in the costume. She was like, this was me beating ass with you guys. Like this was not, I'm Jean Grey. I'm the one who has to come
She's like, I
in.
just had a fucking baby.
Literally. And she's like, and this is how you treat me? And
Storm would
then
have believed me.
she did. And I was like, you would bring Storm into it. But and that's a whole nother story because I noticed she didn't really have the energy to chase after her. You let Storm get on that Greyhound and you really didn't say shit. So I was like, really, it's kind of fuck you, not gonna lie. Because, that's the whole thing. But of course, she used it to her advantage. And Scott and them, they really didn't even want to give her the baby. They were like, I'm not sharing this with y'all. Like, I'm not sharing this. And she's like, well, the baby came from me. It came out of me, so I'm going to take the baby and we're going to go in the room. So when she goes in the room, she closes the door and it all hits her. She's like, shit, I'm not really Jean Grey. Like, that's really the Jean Grey in there. And you know what? You know what's so funny too? I knew she wasn't the real Jean Grey because she didn't really faint like that. That's how I knew. When that other one came in the house and passed out, I was like, that is the real Jean Grey. for sure.
You did say that. You
Cause she
did
not
say
good
that.
for nothing. Like the real Jean Grey, if she's not Phoenix, she's about as useful as a candle wick, a unlit one.
Damn.
Like that is it. That is all she's good for. So, Sinister get on the baby monitor and he's like, I told your ass a long time ago that you wasn't really Jean Grey. So I don't even know why you're so surprised and shocked. And she lost it a little bit. She did some stuff. Um the baby got a virus somehow. Like, did you see that? I felt so bad for the baby. That's a strange looking baby too. I want to just point that out. And I don't even think the baby is real. And they say the baby ends up growing up to be Cable, which is another Marvel hero. I want to say he's in Young Avengers, but I'm not sure about that, so don't quote me. Um, but yeah, so their baby ends up growing up to be a hero. Um, so Madeline, she turns into this evil lady, kind of like the Scarlet Witch, but not exactly. She's really powerful, um, and she's known as the Goblin Queen. Like her whole look
I was like, what
changes.
is that? What the fuck is the Goblin Queen? Like that sounds like some Riverdale
Yeah,
shit.
I don't really like. I just would. They could have just said Madeline Pryor. That's her real name. They didn't really have to call her the Goblin Queen. But I like the new look. I'll tell you that.
When she started floating and she was like, fuck y'all.
And
And
then she
she like
started shaking
left.
ass, like
Mm-hmm.
literally hard as fuck. After she gave that baby a virus, I was like, oh my gosh, she just doesn't care about anything. And Gambit also, this is like in the side story, Gambit catches on to the fact that Rogue and Magneto are hooking up. And that's why they booked that training room out. And this is they fucking down in there. They booked it for 2, 3, 4 days for hours.
Yes.
I'm like, damn, is it that serious? Like, what are they doing in there?
You
I
know, Rogue
kind of,
can't touch nobody, so
I kind of wish this was on HBO Max so we could see what's going on in there.
right,
Um, but
right. Or
you know,
Amazon Prime because they be showing titties and all.
right.
Um, uh, I did like it was a lot of stuff going on. I guess the guy is Mr. Sinister or some shit
Yeah,
like that.
Sinister.
Okay, so that's the dude who
That's
overtook her, and like that's when she left. And basically, Jean, she's trying to recover, and because the Goblin Queen got everybody fucked up, so Jean is trying to recover, and then mentally, she like gets through to her, and like they go through her memories, and they realize like they don't know
yeah.
when they replaced her, and that was the
And
craziest
isn't
part
that
to me.
crazy? Yeah,
Like they,
because
they
I was
still
like,
don't know which
see,
one is the
Jean
like.
is still useless. Like even going to sleep, even getting in this lady's dreams, she's still like, girl, you still don't know shit. So why? And Madeline's whole thing is at this point, why are you even here? Like, even if you are the real Jean, you're not doing shit.
Because you have the same memories as I, and you can't tell me when they switched us.
You can't tell me nothing. What are
That's the
you here
craziest part
for?
about it. I was gonna ask you like what.
And it really made me feel like I would have preferred Madeline over Jean. Honestly, I really wanted them to switch lives and I wanted Jean to just be Madeline and I wanted Madeline to just be the new Jean because it's like we needed her anyway. She's a power player. Storm's not even in the equation at this point. And we'll get into it at the end because Storm, she's on the path of getting her powers back.
Yeah,
But all this turmoil after I guess that talk that Madeline had with Jean, she was like, okay, well, fuck it, cause my baby's sick anyway, and they gotta take his ass to
Bishop
the
takes him to the
urgent.
future.
Yeah, Bishop takes his ass to urgent care in like 30:30, and she's like, well, at this point, why am I here? Because Bishop hauled ass with my baby. Cyclops, he was like, I'm gonna be there for my child. And then his ass ended up walking out of the room. He's like, I can't do this. So I'm like, that's
Just like a deadbeat ass
you
daddy.
know, that was really crazy to me too. I'm gonna
Wasn't
be
he
there
like,
for my child.
I'm not gonna be like my father.
I'm
He
not
will
gonna be
never feel unwanted. And then he just like walks out of the room.
just like him. Just like him. He didn't even say, well, is there any way I could get to the future? Like, can I catch a Greyhound? Like, can I do anything? Can you just open the portal
You
and I'll
come
take
back, because
him?
that's my whole thing is if you fix my time traveling wristwatch, okay, you only got enough juice to take you and Junior this go around, but can you come back and get me? Like it was no kind of
Literally,
like
my mom would be like, I
figure
need
it
to
out.
figure out how I'm gonna get my ass in the future to save my baby.
My
And
mom
they
with
just
time
let it go.
travel.
Because Cyclops knew that he just wanted to be with tired ass regular Jean anyway. He didn't really want to be with Madeline. He didn't really want to be a daddy. He realized all of that shit. And so Madeline was like, I'm gonna pack my bags and I'm gonna go.
Yeah. And Jean was like, okay, goodbye, Jean. And she's like, actually, you know what? I'm not. Call me Madeline
Yeah.
Pryor, Richard
She's like, I
Pryor's
don't even want to
daughter.
be you. After finding out as much as I know and how many times you passed out, why would I want to like
You
continue?
weak ass bitch. It was like a never mind.
It was like a Jocelyn moment. She was like, "You a weak ass bitch," and you straddled the fence.
I was gonna
And
say that like it's like white Tia and Tamira, and I'll leave it at that. And you can figure out who's Tia and who's Tamira.
Madeline's Tia.
Oh my god!
Madeline is Tia 1,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000%.
Exactly.
She's
Exactly.
like, I am Melanie Davis.
In my head, that's how it went. Like in my mind, since they didn't know like who's who, when did they
Mhm.
switch? Like you're the same
So,
person, so it's Tia Tamira.
kind of shifting gears and getting off the show and into the comics.
Yeah.
I found out that Madeline actually forms a group called It's Men Dark.
That don't sound good. That sounds evil.
Yeah, it is. So
Oh,
she's like,
okay.
fuck all this shit. It's X-Men Dark. And Gambit is in the group. So I'm thinking that I don't know what's gonna happen between Rogue and him, but if he leaves, and I'm not sure that they're gonna bring that into X-Men 97, but I would like to see it if they do. I think it's only normal. It's only right that we see. But Gambit switches sides and goes over there. And I don't know how that whole thing happens, but and there's also a Wolverine. I don't know if it's the same Wolverine from that universe or a different Wolverine. Um, but yeah, so a few of the people from the X-Men go over there
The,
to
the
join,
dark
yeah,
side.
to join her, the dark side. Right now, Storm is with Forge, and that's what we see at the end. That's like the before the credit scene, and he's like, "Hey, listen, like I can get you your powers. Like, have this Hennessy shot real quick, and we're gonna go in the lab, and I'm really gonna show you like what I can do."
Wow. Is that her man? Like, do they date?
They do end up having a romance, but then from what I remember, she finds out that he's the one that created the thing that took away her powers.
Oh, see? Didn't I say that? Like a freaking lover's
Yeah.
betrayal? And you're like, that's what it's called? Something like that?
Yeah, yeah. So I think
Yeah, we
that
just talked
they
about that.
might follow that storyline and then she just kind of like stops fucking with him, or they might just ignore that. But either way, I want to see her. I would like to see her without her powers lead the group, like I said, because that could be such a good exit for Gambit. Like she just takes Gambit's position and she starts leading the group, and then Gambit's like, you know what? I lost my bitch. I'm
I don't really
gone.
see Gambit as a leader. I just see him, and even I don't know. I
Yeah,
just see him, as a group member. I do like the way that Rogue talks, and then the way that Gambit talks is very interesting. Like, why does he talk like the beetle from like Princess and the
he's from
Frog?
Nolans.
He's from the Bayou.
Yeah,
Do you
he's
know
from
him?
Nolans. Who
Do you know?
Gambit?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why I knew that.
yeah. But me and
Why I knew
Gambit
that.
go way back before he turned bad.
But that's another story.
But that's another story. I heard Gambit does fraud too. And he be tapping in the TD banks. Like, that's what I heard. But
Well, I
you didn't hear
hope
that from
not.
me.
Go to Chase. Go to Wells Fargo.
He was like, who has Cash App? Tap in. Like,
This is getting ignorant. So that's X-Men 97, y'all. It was a great episode. Thank you, Aaron, for the freaking tea. We will obviously have Kendrick on, who's an expert.
that's really what exactly. And I'm gonna need him especially because I heard that the next episode is gonna be centered around Storm.
Ooh, and for us, that's today.
Yeah,
so
that's
y'all
today.
go ahead and watch it right now.
Cool cats and kittens.
Cool cats and kittens. And we'll leave you with just let us know who you love from Vanderpump Villa, what you think about the show. And also, do you prefer Jean Grey or do you prefer Madeline Pryor?
Thank you. Because my answer is going to be Madeline every time.
I'm gonna give Jean a chance because sometimes I be passing out too. So I can't really.
Why did you feel like putting your hair in that ponytail too?
She
That's
said that
another
she was
thing,
doing
like-
something. Like she was doing something. She had to put
Who
her hair
asked for that?
hair in the ponytail to tell Madeline, like, "Hey, bitch."
To pass out.
No, she tapped in with her, and they went through her memories.
And then after that, she's like,
It took a lot out of her.
she's like, somebody give me a Benadryl, please.
And she can't even control her powers. And I'll go on my Wolverine rant next week because I've been wanting to pass.
The IV, she's like, please.
Me as fuck. Like, you guys don't understand. That's why I'm like, not too
She's
much.
literally Bella Swan. She's like, it tastes good. All right, guys.
Bye, y'all. Love y'all.
Bye.